My husband was telling me that when he first came to the UK and he went to a hotel, he didn't understand why they were putting white towels on the floor. And he kept picking it up and putting it in somewhere.
I thought it was a face towel.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Pick and Chat Podcast. We hope you're well. So today we are going to talk a bit about businesses that you can do from home. You don't have to move, you don't have to go anywhere. You can just sit in your house and start that business. So stay tuned. Okay.
Let's go.
So as we always do it, business. All right. So as we usually do, Dennis is here, the business dynamite. That should be your new nickname.
Blow our explode.
The business dynamite. No, but on a serious note, then I'm learning a lot from you about business, and we hope you are as well. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how you can start a business without having to go anywhere. Maybe you are home, maybe already you work from home, and you have quite a bit of time usually when you're working from home, and you're thinking, oh, maybe I could start, a little side hustle with this time. Dennis is going to talk to us today about how you can do that. And I think we have a case study. We're going to use Airbnb. So we'll talk about how you can probably start your own Airbnb side hustle, and we'll just let the conversation flow from there. So stay tuned, subscribe to our channel, and share this with your friends as well. Anyone who's thinking about starting a business, share it with them as well.
Yeah.
All right, Dennis. So take us through it. How can someone start a business from home? They don't want to go anywhere. They don't want to leave their house. How can they make money from staying in their house?
Yeah. So I am tempted to say it is very simple, but it might not come off as simple until you get, going. Then you know how easy it is. Of course, like I always say, anything that is passive starts with some work before you really can make it passive and you are just home. Airbnb is a platform, just for context, if you don't know, it's a platform where people go to get short stay homes to live in. Most of the time, why people will not go for hotels is that Airbnb gives you a kitchen, it gives you that freedom, not too many restrictions. It's just like you're having a key to a whole home for a very short stay, and you just go away.
Sorry, just before you continue, recently, I don't know if you've been seeing on YouTube, but I've been seeing Airbnb's new adverts on YouTube, and it's amazing. Have you seen any of it?
No,
So in one of the adverts, so it starts by like a group of women, like a girls' weekend away, and they book a hotel, saying that they don't want the children there. They don't want it, but then still, for some weird reason, they end up having their children present. But then in the advert, Airbnb basically says, why book a hotel when you can get an Airbnb where you can get your own space, you can get like you said, a space to cook, you can get a swimming pool. And that's quite a clever way of doing it. So I think Airbnb, and it's big now as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very big. Yeah. So as I've just explained, if you have a space in your room, let's say a room in your a room in your house or your flat that you want to give out Airbnb, which is not the most popular one nowadays, but that's how it actually started. When Airbnb started, it was you having a home and you have a room
space in the home
to give out. And then people were like, what makes you think people will let strangers into their homes? But of course, I think that company was very lucky. There was an economic crunch at the time, and people wanted money, and why not give that bed in your home to strangers who will just come in and pay you? And that was it. Now it has got to a point where people no longer invite people to their homes. They actually get a whole home or a flat and rent it out for short term. And that is very simple. Everything is managed with an app. That is Airbnb. So Airbnb is that agency. Now I'll be using the word agency a lot because everything now looks like an agency to me. Every business that is making money is on arbitrage. So Airbnb is making an arbitrage on hotels. All the hotels had their own infrastructure. Airbnb had just an app, and they are connecting people who are guests. I mean, in the term called guest, and people who are hosts. So they host their guests. Airbnb doesn't own all of these properties, but they make money off it. I think they make 13% off the person who wants to lodge in somebody's room or her house, and the person who really has a home, that's the host, they pay like 3%. So that is all about Airbnb. So if you want to be on the business side of Airbnb, then you have to sign up as a host. When you sign up as a host, you get the platform to yourself. You list your room or flat or house, whatever property you want to. People even have experience Airbnb where, for experience, like people have like canopies where they list on Airbnb. You know, people want to travel and go and live in some canopy in a park.
Yeah, sure. Like a villa, somewhere. Yeah.
So you can literally go and get a lease for a land near some little river, put a very good canopy, provide a place of where people can ease themselves, toilet and all. You host it for a lot of money because people want it. Yeah. So when you've done this, you list everything that you want to put on Airbnb. It gives you the chance to talk about your property. It asks you questions, toilet, kitchen, whatever equipment you have microwave, you list everything.
Okay.
And you don't need to worry. Airbnb is going to lead you through it. When you've done that, it presents it correctly to the people searching. So when people are searching, they filter. They want a place that has this and this and that. They'll put your property in front of them. And once they book, you are done. Yeah, so getting the properties is the most difficult part. Even if you have a home, you will not be too rich to buy a whole new home for Airbnb. Yeah, so there's this thing called arbitrage. You know, if you know the meaning of arbitrage, you know what I'm talking about. It is just you just intercepting the flow and making money out of somebody's home.
Okay.
So you talk to your landlord, and that is one thing you have to do. You don't have to be dodgy with this, because Airbnb guests, some of them rent your room for parties. So if the landlord doesn't know, it might cause problems. So you talk to your landlord, tell them, look, you want to get this property for like 2 years, or let's say a year, and you're going to list them on Airbnb. If they agree, then you sign your lease, you have it for a year. What you need to do is called staging. Now you have to make sure the room is nicely staged so that you can take quality pictures of it. If you don't have too much money, for my Airbnbs, I used iPhone to take pictures, and it was okay. You don't need to get too much, but of course, those that take professional pictures really get a lot of attention. So you can put a bit of like £100 on photography, that is fine. If you're struggling with it, if you run Midlands, you can contact Nairn Media, Nairn Media. Just look for them, and they will come and give you professional shots at a very affordable price, and that should be fine. When you've got your shots of the room, you're going to take it to Airbnb. One thing that I would say is a key to win the landlords, because some of them, they are just they exercise some prejudice. They're like, oh, Airbnb is trouble. People will come and mess up my room. Tell them that, look, I'm going to be cleaning your room on a daily basis. Imagine if 10 people are going to book for a month. That means I'm going to do 10 cleanings. Can you have a tenant who cleans your property 10 times a month?
In a month, So be open about it.
Let them know that Airbnb is good because you are constantly going to be cleaning the property. Secondly, you're always going to be checking for fire. You're going to put carbon monoxide checker in there. So their property will be in good hands. In as much as the property is going to be out there for strangers, it is going to be really maintained. And that is one thing that works. Secondly, if that landlord is giving a property out for, let's say, £600 a month, you can offer to give them £700 because, of course, you are using it for a business. So you're going to be making money from it. So give them a good offer. Add some £50 or £100 to it. And I tell you, these guys want money. Don't margin, because some of them, they are making like just £100 on their property a month. So if you're giving them £100 more, it's a 100% increment. And they love it. So offer to give them more. And that is how to get these landlords to give you their properties. And when you've gotten the properties, then you think about how luxurious or not luxurious you want it to be. That is where you consider the beds, whether you're going to get a king size, depending on the size of the room, a double bed, that depends on you.
Dennis, I was just going to say, with Airbnbs as well, I think people also want that home away from home feel. I've stayed in an Airbnb property before and I loved it. And for me, the difference in staying in an Airbnb to a hotel is, like I said, you get that home away from home. You almost feel like you're home. You have a living room, like how you would probably have in your house. You have a kitchen. So it's quite a good.
It's very
business
good.
to start with.
And like I said, that makes it even more important, you know, when staging it, because if you want to be charging families, then you have to, let's say, give an extra bed in. Maybe there is just double bed. But if you tell them, oh, I have an extra mattress or I have a bed topper, that your kids can sleep on the floor, or my couch can be converted into a bed.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense to families. So imagine if your Airbnb is, let's say, £150 a month, but 4 people can sleep in there.
Yeah.
4 friends can come in, contribute for £150 a month. They can stay there for a week.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. So people are like, oh, the room is too expensive. It's £150 a night. No, it's £150 a night, but you are giving it out for 4 people.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. Hotels do not allow them to do that.
No, that's
you
true.
Put in a sofa or a couch that can be converted into a bed. That's good. In the kitchen, you can put you don't need a coffee maker. You can just put coffee, tea, everything. Simple things that cost £1.
Microwave.
It is good. Microwave. You buy a kettle. You make sure there's cutlery. You have some, reasonable amount of pots that people can cook some noodles and all. Not too many things. Yes. Some Airbnbs have washing machines because, of course, if somebody's going to stay there for a long time, you need to provide washing machines. And some flats or many places that you are going to rent already have washing machines.
Yeah.
Yes, that gives your cleaners a lot of work because when they get there, they have to also clean the washing machines and all. But it is nice.
Yeah.
So these are things you need to provide, and it works perfectly. So once you've decided how luxurious you want it to be, what flat screen you want to put in a room, what size of TV, people even put artifacts, wallpaper, wall images. These things make the room very classy. The curtains you want to put there will determine what pictures are going to come out and how luxurious it's going to be. But if you want simple things, you can also put in simple things, and that will affect what or how much you charge. Then location. With Airbnb, location is very important.
Yeah.
Locations that are close to city centers are very expensive.
For people, especially tourists, isn't it?
Tourists, yes. And it's hot. I mean, I had one of my Airbnbs around between Leicester City Centre and Leicester Stadium, and it was always booked because of course, people always around the city come to work, and when there is a match, I tell you. So all the time when I knew Leicester was going to play, I just go and double the price. If it was 70, I double to 140.
So you have to be strategic then, don't you? If you're starting a business like Airbnb, you have to do your research.
Yeah.
And you have to be ready to be, almost think on your feet, because like you said, if you have a property near somewhere like a stadium, ideally, you should know when there are going to be games on and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah. So that alone was a catch because every time there was a home day for Leicester City, I could double my charge from, for instance, let's say 70 to 140. And they'll pay for it because they have all the hotels are booked. Everywhere is booked. And it's just because I just knew the schedules and I increased for that day. So I wasn't get caught up because, mind you, some people are very fast. They know they come to Leicester in 3 weeks. They book 3 weeks ahead. So I have the schedules. I know all the match days 2 months ahead. So I've doubled it on that day. So I won't get the bookings until 2 days to the match when all the hotels and all the other Airbnbs are booked. Then the people who have no choice will come and book mine for double the price.
I think what I'm learning from what you're sharing as well is if you're thinking about starting a business as well, you need to be ready to be a quick thinker. You need to be ready to almost not be scared to take risks. Because someone may be listening and they will think, oh, but what if I increase the price and no one books it? But you have to do the research and say, okay, this works. So let me try it. Fine. If it doesn't work for you, you can try something else. But I think what I'm learning is don't be scared to think on your feet. Be ready to move.
Yeah.
This is the business. So like Dennis is saying, if you've got an Airbnb, don't be scared to put in the work, make the place look beautiful, and believe that people are going to book it, and be ready to change things around if you feel like what you've done is not working.
Yes. And I'm coming to step down to even some basic things like beddings. You know, one thing that makes your Airbnb look classy, I'll come back to cleaning, which is one of the biggest troubles in Airbnbs. Yeah, but of course that you can always give it out to cleaners and make sure they are working. Beddings. I would always go for white beddings. You know why? Because if white is stained, you can always bleach it back to white.
Yeah.
If you go and take any beddings, color, flower colored or something that is very bubbly, bedsheets that are, colored, and there is wine in it. People pour wine into it and you want to bleach it or want to wash it. You might end up bleaching the whole color.
Yeah.
But when you have total white, all you need is just put in the washing machine, put bleach on it, let it soak. It will wash back to pure white.
Yeah.
To the extent, when you go to hotels, they literally give you a white towel for the floor. Why do they give you a white towel for the floor? They will easily wash it. And people don't think about it. Why are they giving?
This one-
Yes.
You know why I'm laughing? Because my husband was telling me that when he first came to the UK and he went to a hotel, he didn't understand why they were putting white towels on the floor.
I
And he
first
kept
used-
picking it up and putting it in somewhere.
I thought it was a face towel. The first time I went to a hotel, there was a white short. I mean, there were bigger towels. There was a small one that was on. I mean, on the bathroom
Yeah.
thing, the bath boot. So I took it. Sorry to say, I thought it was a face towel. To be fair, but later I realized. So one thing is, white works with these kind of accommodations. You can wash it, and the second reason is it is classy.
Yeah.
You go to places and the mask they are giving you to step on when you finish bathing is white. It is classy. Nobody
very
will tell you.
elegant.
The moment you walk into an Airbnb or a hotel room and you see an all white bed sheet, white pillows, white pillowcase, white duvet, tucked in properly, white towels.
Yeah.
Nobody tells you this is classy. So first of all, it makes it easy for you to clean or to do your laundry.
Yeah.
And it gives your room that classy feel. And white blends with everything. So that is one key for you. When you're buying beddings, forget about any colorful beddings or anything. Just put that investment into curtains. Yeah. Buy beddings that are all white. Now let's come to cleaning. Because of our time, maybe we'll be stuck with. Let me give the important things before I talk about these auxiliary things.
Yeah.
Cleaning is the most important thing because in Airbnb we call it turnover cleaning. Turnover means they are bringing the thing from used to unused. Imagine walking to a hotel and you feel like this person just left there. No, you always want to feel like nobody
fresh.
was there.
Yeah.
And Airbnb is such, and the hotel business is such that somebody just left 3 hours before you came.
Yeah.
But we have to turn it over, mop it dry, make sure there's nothing there. And that is where the difficulty is. So you have to get standby cleaners. You have to work with a cleaning company. That is not just one cleaner who, when they are sick, you can't get anyone. So if you work with a cleaning company, of course, they run a lot of cleaners, so they can always
Get
allot
someone
somebody
in.
to your
Yeah.
work. Of course, you're definitely going to get issue with cleaning. 80% of the issues you're going to have with Airbnb is with your cleaning.
With
Somebody can
cleaning.
just come and find a strand of hair under the bed, and it'll be like, you have to deal with that differently. But
Yeah.
cleaning is the most important thing. Because, mind you, this is a business that you want to be passive. You want to be home. Call the cleaner that, look, the guest has left to go and clean. They finish, they send you videos of it. And when they are done,
Yeah.
they hand over the keys. And if you want to make it passive, our Airbnbs, we have lockers. So they put the keys back into a locker and they shuffle the code. Then you give the code to what? The new guest who is coming. So you don't move an inch. Cleaners go, they get the key, they work, they put it back. Guests come, they get the key, they enter, and that's it. It works like that. So cleaning is very important. Make sure you have cleaners on standby. You have a plan B cleaner. Otherwise, you will be the cleaner. Because if your cleaning team fail you and a guest is arriving in 2 hours, then you have to make sure that
The place is
you
clean.
move there to clean.
Yeah.
So one thing that you can do for yourself is make sure you are the third option in terms of cleaning.
Cleaning, okay.
If you call your plan A, plan B, it doesn't work, you have to move.
You have to go.
So at that point, you are spending some time, but it's worth it because this will happen once in a long while.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen quite often, especially if the cleaners have worked with you for a month. They know what they're doing. They know how to get around the room. Some of them can literally turn your room over. If the guest wasn't very bad, very messy, they can turn over in like a matter of 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And that is it.
I think what you just mentioned there, I think maybe we can do an episode on that. Like some of the things you have to be ready to do when you're starting a business.
Yes.
Because even though we're talking about passive income and businesses where you don't have to move, you don't have to necessarily move out of the house. There may be times where you will have to do certain things to keep the business going. So I think it would be good to do an episode on that one of these days. Yeah.
So I think in that case we can redefine passive income. Making money without moving most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because definitely at some time,
You're gonna have
move.
to, yeah.
At some time you have to move
Yeah.
and see things for yourself. There are days where people mess up and you have to be present.
Yeah.
There was a incident in my Airbnb where the person was dealing drugs in a city center apartment. The guy was supplying. So I think apparently the police had followed him, dragged him. They went to Airbnb, assessed, and they broke into it. And they arrested him. So the owner of because of course the property was leased out to me, I had to be there before even the landlord came. And this was done.
Wow.
I had to move and done. I mean, there was panic in the whole flat, everything. I had to do stakeholder management, talk to people, and reassure them that it was just one of those things, and talk to the landlord so that they don't take their property.
Yeah.
So these are some of the instances. And mind you, there is no worry. Airbnb pays for all of the breakages.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have air cover, they have insurance that covers you as a host.
Yeah.
So it's not a worry at all. And it gave me a very, good insight. Most of the time, some of these guests come, they stay for 1 week and they tell you, oh, I want to stay for 2 more weeks, but I don't want to pay through Airbnb. Can I pay the money to you? Imagine if I had taken this money off Airbnb, the insurance wouldn't cover. And these doors are thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, these doors. I think we spent close to £3,700 on the property. Yeah.
Imagine that would have been your cost.
That would have come from our profit.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I'll advise you, before you think of trying to arrange with a stranger who has come to Airbnb, think about if something happens.
Yeah.
Would you get cover for it? Yeah. So make sure every booking goes through Airbnb, and that should be fine. Most of the time, the customers or the guests that always want to negotiate, are the guests that have a lot of troubles. So know them. If you don't want to negotiate so much, know that they have trouble.
Yeah.
They can really worry you. I'll share another tip, and this is into business in general. People who are petty in terms of their payments, they are the people who are petty in real life. So always go for guests who want to pay more. They don't worry. They come, they go to work. They use just the workspace you're giving them. They don't party. The people who want to pay, it's £70. Can I pay 50? There are people who are saying to come and do parties in your room, and they will give you trouble. They are very not decent most of the time. They ask for so many things. They pay for 2-star. They pay two-star money, and they want 5-star treatment.
Oh,
that is it. So, mind you, this is just my observation and experience, but you can try it on your own.
Yeah.
Many people who don't complain and they pay, they don't even use the room. The case of this supporters who come to watch ball, they pay 140. They don't even stay in the room. They go watch the ball, come change. They go to the pub. The next day they are off.
They're off. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them, they don't even sleep on the bed. They come, they lie on the floor, and that is it. So you get experience when you start. But I would like everyone to pay attention to cleaning, because that is where you get the issues. I think maybe later we can talk about the petty things, like dealing with complaints, how to make sure you evident conversation. When you find something that has gone on in the Airbnb, how to start chatting with them on the Airbnb platform to let them know that this is what has happened, put pictures on, so that when they don't comply or they don't pay the money, then you push it to Airbnb. Airbnb will see the flow of everything. Yeah. In business, you would have called it audit trail, but this is just you trying to evidence what has happened. And that's the most important thing to do all the time. When they even get to you, the moment they book your Airbnb, they'll get your phone number. They can start chatting you. Try as much as possible to migrate them back onto the Airbnb chatting platform so that everything can be documented. However, you can always screenshot, but you can challenge that it's not them.
It's true. Yeah.
But if you chat with you on the Airbnb platform, that is it makes your life very easy.
Yeah.
Unless you are trying to be dodgy, trying to take money off Airbnb, then you want to be chatting on your phones, but that wouldn't help.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will make you, it puts a lot of risk on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we hope you learned quite a bit from this. If you have any other questions around starting your own Airbnb business or any other questions around business, please feel free, comment them below. If you want to, if you want more help around starting a business, Dennis has a lot of information on his LinkedIn page. He will be very happy to consult with you. So reach out to him on LinkedIn. We'll put all that information in the description below, and go out there and start your business. But remember to catch our next episode. We'll be talking a lot more on some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to business, some of the things that you're going to have to do even if you want to start a business remotely. So stay tuned for all those episodes coming up. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. See ya. Bye.